Nestled in the Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka is an island abundant in wildlife. A haven blessed with most sought-after wildlife attractions. Blue whales and sperm whales frequent the ocean, while thousands of Asian elephants roam the land. Immense in size, with heads far above the ground and tooled with a sophisticated trunk. The elephants are a uniquely evolved species, with a family tree running back to almost 60 million years. The first ancestors of elephants roamed the earth in every continent except Australia and Antarctica. Robbed of their claim in the land, the Asian elephant is today an endangered species with less than 50,000 in the wild, mainly due to habitat loss. Being home to over 6,000 wild jumbos, Sri Lanka is an unparalleled oasis for these animals. The island boasts of holding the highest density of elephants in the world in a mere 65,000 square kilometers. When it comes to intelligence, elephants are outstanding. They are more human-like than scientists ever thought before. Unlike most mammals, the major part of their brain develops after birth. This enables them to acquire learned intelligence, a trait they share with humans. Except humans, great apes and cetaceans, most mammals are born with about 90% of their adult brain mass, allowing only 10% of brain development after birth. Remarkably, elephants are born with 35% of brain mass, making them second only to humans, whose brain mass at birth is 28% of its adult size. Therefore, the amount of brain development of elephants is much closer to humans and higher than that of chimpanzees, whose brain mass at birth is 45%. Elephants are equipped with a highly convoluted cerebral cortex, enabling them to have a higher capacity for judgment and evaluation, self-awareness, and tool use. They are also good at reasoning, problem-solving, and decision-making, while being astonishingly clever at comprehension and production of language. Complex in social emotions, these sensitive creatures display empathy, trust, guilt, embarrassment, love, and even a sense of humor. Minneriya National Park in the north-central province of Sri Lanka spreads across an area of over 8,000 hectares, preserving the diverse flora and fauna around the ancient reservoir, Mineria Tank. The longest of its kind in Sri Lanka, the Mahavali River flows triumphantly to meet the demands of the Minneriya Tank, one of the greatest reservoirs history ever saw. The neighboring Kyodula National Park covers an area of about 6,000 hectares around Kyodula Tank, another great reservoir built in the same era. The jungle corridor connecting the two national parks allows animals to constantly move at free will without much hassle. The northeastern monsoon provides the dry zone with rain only for a short period of 4 months, starting from November and stretching towards February. For months, these areas are under the power of the merciless sun. With an annual rainfall below 1,750 millimeters, the 8-month-long dry season makes water a scarce resource. By the end of April, natural water resources have already started to shrink. Therefore, water from the Minneriya Tank has to be released for the survival of thousands of acres of farmland. As a result, the water level of the Minneriya Tank recedes from its maximum capacity of 135 million cubic meters to less than 35 million cubic meters. Gradually, the water level recedes, revealing the moist, shallow tank bed with sediment-rich soil. This provides a priceless oasis for the sprouts that were submerged for months. And a lush green carpet appears, bordering the shrunken water body of the tank. This ecological interaction with water levels reveals more than 60% of the grassland around the Mineria tank, which was submerged during the months of December to April. This is the main impulse behind one of the most stunning wildlife spectacles in Sri Lanka, the Great Elephant Gathering. Attracting hundreds of elephants, young and old, big and small, from far and wide, this creates one of the most sought-after natural phenomena in the world. The nutrient-rich, fresh seasonal delicacy enthralls elephant herds from many home ranges. Sigiriya, Habrana, Giritale, Angamadilla and Kaudulla, to name a few. By April, elephant herds have already headed to the Minneriya National Park. Gradually, they grow in number. By the end of August, the shores of the Mineria tank are dotted with masses of blackish-grey patches. The secret behind the great gathering could be the overlapping of home ranges, making Mineria a strategic gathering point. Sri Lankan elephants are believed to have an average home range of 50 to 250 square kilometers. However, this is variable due to many biological and ecological factors. Solitary males stroll in a much wider home range than herds. When enmashed, they roam further in an extended home range to find females in heat. The possibility of encountering elephants from as far as Kalavava and Somavati sanctuaries, Polonnaruwa, and Vaskamo National Park too during the Great Gathering in Mineria is therefore not elusive. The rapid growth of fresh grass provides an invaluable opportunity for nursing and pregnant mothers and young calves who require a highly nutritious diet. Elephants drink about 120 to 250 liters of water a day. So the cooling fresh water that sparkles a trunk away is a complimentary treat. a playground for young elephant calves, flirting grounds for the adolescents, a mating paradise for the adults, and a serene haven for the old. It is a place with something for everyone. New acquaintances are made, and old ones are renewed. Elephants, being highly intelligent and empathizing animals, feel for each other as much as we do. Therefore, greetings never come to an end. They kiss, sniff, hug with their trunks, and give friendly pats, displaying their joy. Elephants like to dwell in the open areas at the edge of the forest, close to a permanent waterhole, making Mineria shows an ideal habitat. Some eat, some drink, some pamper their feet, walking along the moist earth, while others take a bath, getting ready for the long vacation ahead. They spend most of their time grazing and only leave the tank bed to take a nap. They sleep for several hours a day, not necessarily in the same place every time. Some do not even bother to move to a shade and sleep soundly even under the blazing sun, and their snoring is too loud to go unnoticed. As for babies, it is nap time anywhere and anytime. They snooze off for several minutes at a time, only to be awakened by the gentle push of their mother's trunk. The mother elephant stands guard next to her sleeping baby until it is wake-up time. Their routine for each day depends on the temperature of the environment. The overpowering heat drives them out of their shady retreat and into the water. Many take a quick dip and sprinkle themselves with a trunk full of dust. Dusting comes handy to keep body temperature down and to avoid sunburn. Their wrinkled skin retains the moist, cooling mud, soothing the body. Therefore, elephants browned with wet mud or dust are often observed during the hot afternoons. Newborn calves are no exception. Their mothers guide them in and out of water several times when the heat becomes intolerable. They often splash water with their hind legs as if to encourage the baby to enjoy its bath time. Grazing along the shores continues till evening. In favorable weather, this is the best time of the day to observe elephants. As many retreat to sleep, some prefer to stay on the shores well into the night, enjoying the cool breeze. The great gathering brings elephants from different home ranges together. Therefore, it is their place to seek and to be sought, and opportunities are endless. Many bulls come in search of receptive females, and therefore the estrus females have a diverse choice of mates. The possibility of mothering a healthy calf following successful mating is very high during the great gathering. The courting and mating rituals of elephants are romantic and fascinating to watch. Only a lucky observer will have the opportunity to witness this drama during the great gathering. Mushed bulls and estrus females use chemical signals to advertise their sexual status. Many bulls, both mushed and non-mushed, are seen sniffing the urine patches left by estrus females to trace the scent trails. Females are receptive only 3 to 4 times a year, so the demand of an estrus cow is very high. Experienced males are ingenious in detecting receptive females. They frequently touch female genitals with their trunk and put it into their mouth, performing the Flehmen response, an accurate analyzer for the purpose. As bulls are always vigilant for estrus females, competition is unavoidable. Fatal fights are likely if 2 mushed bulls of similar social rank compete for the same female, but luckily rare. The female chooses only the biggest and the strongest of her suitors. The entire family anticipates this moment, as a new member would be joining the herd if the female is successfully mated. The members of elephant families each have their own unique personality. It is amazing to see how well they understand the feelings of their family members and the complexity of their social and emotional lives. They can be happy, sad, angry, surprised, or depressed, much as we would be if put into similar situations. Members of the herd follow the matriarch during their daily routine. She is the most influential individual and the decision maker of the herd. The bonding between the mother and her calf is very strong and vital for the survival of the baby. The young members of the herd are given special attention as they are born with 0 natural instincts. Their mothers and allo mothers keep an eye on them all the time. A single herd usually consists of several calves of different ages. During the great gathering, many calves can be seen as bond groups and clans get together. These joyous bundles of love play, run and catch and hide and seek, rolling in the mud and even wrestling, climbing onto each other's bodies. This gives the growing calves plenty of exercise and builds a healthy appetite. The occasional showers that bless the shores towards the end of September bring joy especially to young calves. They roll in the muddy shores and play mudslides on each other's backs, looking quite like toddlers at play. They enjoy the moment, unaware of the uncertain future. Babies are very active and sometimes get into trouble while playing. However, the vigilant eyes of their mothers are not easy to escape. Whenever trouble is detected, they rush to aid the calf irrespective of whose offspring it is. Babies are very emotional too. Once in a while, they get a good spanking from the mother and get their time out. Sisters and allo mothers are always there to comfort the calf, to console and reassure him of their love. The occasional lightning and thunder showers drive some of the elephants to take refuge in the nearby thick forest. Some gradually retreat to the neighboring Kaudulla Forest Reserve through the jungle corridor. Therefore, the number of elephants on the Mineria shores can fluctuate. However, they seem to prefer the Mineria tank bed, inevitably making it the key area for the great gathering. From August to October, the water level of the tank is relatively low. This is when about 200 to 300 elephants can be seen on the widespread shows of the Minneriya tank. However, they are more likely to be in large clans numbering around 60 to 80. Observation of several such clans is highly subjective due to many biological reasons and habitat preferences. However, a lucky visitor can keep up hopes, and patience is definitely a virtue. By September, the Department of Irrigation commences to fill the Minneriya tank from the Mahaveli Basin to ensure a continuous water supply for the agricultural lands. As the water level rises, many elephants withdraw and move through the adjoining forest to Kyodula National Park, whose tank bed is now what Minneriya was before. Nonetheless, some revert to their familiar home ranges. By November, the elephant community in Minneriya National Park decreases, leaving only about a dozen resident elephants. The swelling water body swallows all the temporary roads used by visitors, making this small population inaccessible. The once lush green grassland is once more submerged, and the priceless retreat is preserved for the coming year, and the great gathering comes to an end. This unique and subtle wildlife spectacle, the Great Elephant Gathering of Asia, is only a visible part of a complex ecological and biological scenario. Inherently interconnected and interdependent, this phenomenon will be able to survive only if all the elements of the process continue to thrive without disturbance. Any alteration to this ecoregion should be therefore implemented after carefully considering the national park, the Minneriya tank, and its water management system, remaining forest reserves of the region, and elephant corridors as a unique entity. What needs to be understood by the responsible authorities and other stakeholders is that even the slightest change to one of the elements could bring the natural balance to its breaking point, collapsing this subtle whole. Elephants are already endangered. Centuries of slaughtering and negligence has had its impact. Nature's endurance is tested in the most cruel way, devastating the labor of millions of years and leaving a crippled earth, damaged beyond recognition. Consequences are irreversible, and there may be little we can do, but that little must be done. The elephant, either wild or domestic, is a symbol of the cultural heritage of Sri Lanka and a significant contributor to the booming tourism industry. Therefore, all stakeholders should work together to safeguard the elephants from possible negative impacts of the tourism industry without exploiting the opportunity. Intervention must be handled gently and responsibly if it is ever required from man, just to ensure that the great gathering continues to happen, so the generations to come could see it as it should be seen. The mighty, majestic, yet innocent gathering of the great.
Minneriya